Okay, so today we are going to be talking about primary and secondary sources because in 8th grade, that's what we're going to be focusing on a great deal. It's primary sources, reading them, trying to understand them, decipher the language of the colonies, and trying to understand what it is that they're trying to say. So has anyone heard of a primary source before? Yes, Lily?
It's something that was written by a person during a particular time period.
Okay. Can anyone else add to her definition? Megan?
Any first-hand account of an event.
Yep. Anyone else?
You had to be there.
You have to be there. Megan, can you just restate yours?
Mm-hmm. Any first-hand account of an event.
Okay. And Marissa, you said you had to be there?
Yep.
These are all great.
That was gossip.
Gossip is what?
Oh no, I was just saying gossip is like a secondary, so that's what I was thinking. Gossip.
Good. Going right next. Secondary source. So primary is first. Math people, you first thing. Secondary sources. What, Marissa?
I just say it as gossip. But what other people
could
heard?
you give another
It's
definition?
retelling the original story. Or
Retelling
some
the
piece of
original.
it.
Good.
Something like hearsay.
That's really good. Anything else?
They didn't have to be there.
Didn't have to be there. Good. Okay, let's go back to the primary source. So if it's something that was written by someone at the time, any first-hand account of an event, or you had to be there, what are some examples that we have of the primary source? Melissa?
The Constitution.
The Constitution. Perfect. Why would that be an example?
Because all the writers were there.
The writers were there. Okay. But what is the Constitution? Just in general, what is the Constitution?
A document.
A document that says what?
It says stuff about America.
Okay.
Governs us.
Governs. Laws. Yes, laws.
And it's
Laws.
signed by people. No?
Okay, I'm going to put Constitution
No,
slash
it's
laws. Because laws are a primary source. They're written there by the framers of the Constitution, the writers of the Constitution. Okay. What's another thing that could be a primary source? Lily?
Letters.
A letter. Good.
Diary.
Yes. Diary.
Autobiography.
An autobiography. That's good too. Not what I was thinking of.
Sorry.
Newspaper.
Newspaper, Megan. That's really good. I'm going to put newspaper slash journal. Because today we have journals. Okay. Anything else, Lily?
Was like a video count? Like a visual recording? Or are you talking about text?
No, that works too. That's good. Like a
Video in the time, in the place.
Right.
kind of like a documentary.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Like a
Like someone has their phone filming, a speech by Obama.
good. That yeah. Video. But it's not all videos would be primary sources, right?
Right.
Very good. So let's move on to secondary sources. What could be a secondary source? Brian?
Editorial?
Editorial. Yeah. Because they don't always have the most accurate information. Evan?
A biography.
A biography. Why would a biography be a secondary source?
I guess if you're talking about somebody.
Oh, sorry, biography. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking autobiography. Sorry. That is correct. Anything else?
I have a question.
Yes.
How come newspaper is primary source? Wouldn't that be secondary source? Like if I was a reporter and I'm interviewing you about something that you experienced, wouldn't that be secondary?
The interview itself would be a primary source.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's good. The newspaper could be a secondary source as well, because if the reporter wasn't actually there when the event happened, then they're hearing a retelling of it. So good, a newspaper could be a secondary source. What is something that you all have in the classroom?
Textbooks.
Thanks for yelling out and raising your hands. Marissa, what?
Textbook.
A textbook. Were the authors of textbooks actually at events?
Yeah, probably not.
No. Especially when they were happening when the Indians first came to America or when the Mayflower was landing. That's not true. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to split up into 3 groups. You're going to count off into 3s. And then group 1 is going to be up here in the front. Group 2 is going to be in the back. And group 3 is going to be over here. And you're all going to get a different source. And you have a worksheet to go along with it. And you need to answer, is your source a primary source or a secondary source? What are the characteristics that lead you to say if it's primary or secondary? And going back on our little summary note-taking exercise, what is your source trying to tell you? Okay, so Lily, can you start with 1?
1.
2,
3.
1,
2, 3.
1.
2.
3.
Okay, 1's over here, 2's in the back, 3's up here.
Are we sitting?
You're gonna sit. You're gonna sit at the desk. So there should be 3 in each.
Thank you, Professor Foley.
3. And there's a little space on here that says title of source. It's pretty much what do you think your source is.
Thank you.
Okay? And then group 2. This is your source. Group 3, this is your source. And group number 1. So it says title of source. What do you think your source is? It might be a letter, it might be notes, it might be a newspaper article. So you need to read through and see, is it a primary source or a secondary source?
Yes.
And then what leads you to believe that?
Wash. Proposed by.
So what do you think yours is?
How can you tell?
What is it to begin?
It's a letter.
It's a letter, yeah.
Primary.
Primary. Because who is it written by?
It's written by James
It's
Madison.
by James Madison. Do we know who James Madison is? He was a president, yes.
Okay, good.
Who was he writing to?
George.
George, who was?
But it's me presenting
A president.
so maybe it's not. But if someone is being presented to someone, it's not.
Oh, maybe.
Really the description of the president.
Okay. So you need to read through it. There's going to be a lot of information that is kind of unnecessary. But what is it that the letter is trying to tell you? What is James trying to tell George?
What is James trying to tell George?
Group 2. What is your source to begin with?
Secondary.
Well, like what is
Charles Pickney in the U.S. Constitution.
It's a retell. Yeah, it's a retell. So it's a secondary source.
So these are the actual resolutions that were proposed. So it's not someone describing them or like.
So where do you think you might find like this? Where could I have found this?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, just from like an
So yeah, some
encyclopedia.
kind of historical research
Right.
as opposed to being there at the time.
Great. Okay, so what is the source trying to tell you?
Historical.
But like specifically, what is it trying to tell you about Pinckney? Well, you can skim through it and see what is it
He
trying to
was
tell you.
there in his role in the Constitution.
Okay. What is his role in the Constitution? That would be a good thing.
He was in South Carolina.
Because the Constitution, you said the Constitution was primary source. How does Pinckney play in the Constitution? Maybe.
Someone who did describe having the Articles of Confederation. So maybe.
Okay, group 1. What do you guys have?
It's the resolutions proposed by some.
Okay, what is the overall thing? What kind of?
Here's.
It's not quite a newspaper.
Are they the actual like?
It's a journal. This is James Madison's journal that he took during the
Like a personal journal?
his
or like
personal journal during the Constitutional Convention.
Okay.
Right, it's his notes.
To the entire public.
So you are right that it's primary source.
Yeah.
How can you tell?
That's awesome.
But how could you tell before that? Because you were thinking newspaper.
Right. Well, that was because Megan saw the paragraph at the bottom. Because we thought it was primary because we thought it was the actual resolutions that were proposed.
Okay, good.
And then we see like this recap and something.
Why did you think it was the actual resolution?
because there's no preface to it.
Did the numbers on the side help too?
Yes.
Okay, so what is this journal trying to tell you?
So it's Madison?
This is Madison.
So it's Madison's notes on the resolution are saying that they
Okay,
will actually brought
Groups. We have come to the end. We have run out of time. Group 3, can you tell me if you had a primary, secondary?
Primary.
What was it?
Letter.
Letter.
Washington.
Group 2, primary, secondary?
Secondary.
What was it?
It's a retelling of something.
Yes. And group 1?
primary
What was it?
journal.
Good. Everyone understand what a primary source is?
Yes.
And a secondary source?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll talk more tomorrow.